What's up guys, DJ Mike James coming at you again. As you can see, I've got my ProX XF-MESA MK2 DJ booth up and ready to go. We're going to talk about the ProX XF-MESA Truss.
This video is made possible by
Alright guys, DJ Mike James coming at you again. Like I said, I've got my booth up. I just did a video talking about, some of the scrims and tie downs and stuff like that. But another thing I want to get into you guys with is the ProX XF-MESA Truss. So there is a clamp mountable trussing that goes to this booth and the multimedia facade or multimedia station. I think they call this one the facade and the other one the multimedia station. But for these two XF booths, there is a trussing system that you can get. It's roughly, 140, 150 bucks, depending on where you order it. If you order it through ProX or iDJ Now or Audio Savings, or all of these guys have them, so it might be something that you might be interested in. I'm looking at it as possibly my middle of the road package, so I can do my lit totems and the setups you guys have already seen, plus I could possibly have a bonus piece of trussing to run movers and just to add a little more dance lighting and put me in that middle of the road package, as opposed to bringing out my ProX open-ended trussing with my T adapters and crank stands and all of that, which is also a ton of work. So give me just a second, we'll get into it, talk about this ProX. So I'm going to pull my scrim off of here so you can kind of see the mounting points and how this MESA XF trussing works. Like I said, I haven't decided if this is actually how I'm going to run my secondary package, but it is definitely an idea, because there are times when I do want to add extra lighting as far as my movers or something like that, but I don't want to take my whole trussing setup, because it does come in a nice ProX bag. ProX is really good about that. These are the stands. They're going to clamp onto the sides. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the scrims off so you guys can see the mounting points on this particular model. Again, these will fit. So as you can see, we've got a pinch clamp here. I'm gonna have to get those undone, just fall right off there, I guess. To get this mounted on, sitting on the floor. I'll get this one started and get the other one on there, and we'll get that other side done. So this is just mounting the trussing poles. One's flip-deed around. These both running the same way. So I'm probably just going to pull this one completely apart so that I can just clamp it on there. This might be the easier way to do it. Again, it's got that Cedars link kind of clamp to it, which I do enjoy those. And as you can see, if you know about my old clamps, I get the Cedars link ones, and they have this same style of clamp. And so that is pretty easy. That is clamped on. Now I gotta get the other side. All right, so as you guys can see, I've got the clamps on. It went on pretty easy. Like I said, not a big deal. I pitched mine so my adjustment pins are to the inside of the booth. I'm sure you could do them either way, depending on how you have it. You can do this with your scrim on it also. I just took it off just so you guys could see. So at this point, I think I'm gonna start by pulling these up, and at least getting us a starting point here, which I don't want to go up super high just because of the room we're in. So I'm going to just put those right. Count 1, 2. We'll go 1, 2 on this side. Get that pin in. Lock it down. And then we'll start adjusting our second one here. Get this up just a little higher so you guys can see. They do say that this goes up. Well, I'm gonna go higher than that, because if not, it won't run through. Get the other side adjusted up. All right, so we've got the ProX XF-MESA trussing connected to the booth, and it's actually pretty sturdy. I do kind of like that, how that sets up. This is our T section here, and of course I'm gonna bring it up. And it's going to slide on here. the other side's gonna go on the other side, and then we've got to go in and slide these together, it looks like, because it's got some support brackets here. Put that on. Tighten those up because we're right about where we need to be. Fish these through. Like so. And honestly, this isn't a bad setup as far as the ease of putting this up. It's way easier than mounting my other truss, that's for sure. I mean, I can assure you of that. Crate stands and all of that, and of course, I don't have any lighting on this one yet. Get that through there, get this mounted up. Give you guys a pretty good look at what this is. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got the ProX XF-MESA trussing up on my ProX XF-MK2 booth. Again, love this booth. This is a pretty decent setup. It is steel. We checked it. I got a magnet. This is steel construction. The booth is aluminum. Of course, the weight of the booth, if it was steel, it would probably need 2 people to lift it. But I do kind of like the construction of this. I love to turn things on it. It's super easy to put together. Again, if I want to run my floor moving head gobos, run a laser, a fog machine, something like that, do a clamp on, plug that I have. But then that creates another situation that I want to talk to you guys about. All right, guys, so I want to talk to you a couple things about the MESA Truss. Now, I've looked at them on 2 different sites, one being Audio Savings and one being ProX, and they're saying that the tube size, ProX says these are 1.5 inches, Audio Savings says these are 1 3/8 inches. If they're 1.5 inches, that'd be awesome, because then my other ProX trussing is 1.5 inches, and all of my O-clamps would fit, but they're not. So just the first thing about this trussing that you need to know when you get it, it is not 1.5 inches, it's not 1 3/8 inches. You have to get a specialty clamp. These are called juniors. They're 1 1/8 inches, and these are the only clamps that are gonna fit on there. Now, your standard clamps, if you watched my clamping video, which we did several months ago on the different styles, now if you're gonna use J clamps, that would work on this, of course. However, if you want to use a traditional O clamp, you are going to have to specially order these juniors, which are 1 1/8 inches, if you're expecting to clamp a light on here, which is how we typically run ours. So I'm going to show you real quick with the 1 1/8 clamp that these will bite right down. Of course, you'd mount your fixture on the bolt side, and to get this to tighten down, and that tightens down beautifully on there. 1 1/8 inches clamp. They will not take the 1 inch. They will not take 1.5 inches. It's too big. 1 inch is too small. So unless you're bolting through, which I never really do anymore, I think 2 of my lights on my trussing I do bolt through just because they're so big. It's just easier to put them on there, bolt them right on, and not put clamps on them. So that's one thing. The other thing, they're saying that this is 2 5-foot sections, and they're not. I have a tape measure right here. So if I go from the middle of this one to this one, it is literally 3'10". 3'9½". So this is not a 10-foot stretch. It's close to 8 foot. It's actually less than 8 foot. So, I mean, if you did the math on that, you can figure out 3'9½" and 3'9½ doesn't equal 10. So that's another issue with the trussing. It does look really nice up here. Again, for me to use this, I have to change out the clamps on all of my fixtures to put them on this stick truss, which again, it's not that big of a deal, but these clamps are not cheap. The other ones these are global truss. And like I said, if you have this style trussing, you will have to get 1 1/8 clamps unless you bolt through, which, like I said, I don't bolt through anymore. But again, it is a really super cool option, to run this setup. I do like the I-beam. I had the old Cedars Link one for a long time, and I used that, which had the same, connecting points mount together at the center. you know, which is, I mean, it's super convenient, and this is definitely an option. I am considering using this as my middle of the road package so that I can put my movers up, I can put my fog machines up here clamped on, and maybe, you know, my lasers or spider light or something like that, along with my totems lit and my foreign ones that I have on those. If you've watched my videos, you know that that's what I'm gonna run. So just a few things about this truss as far as, you know, buying it. It's pretty affordable. Like I said, it's about 150 bucks. Of course, the clamps are a little more expensive. If you're running Global, which is 2-inch, if you're running ProX, which is 1.5 inch, those are 1.5 inch clamps. The yoke clamps do have an insert to go down to 1 inch, but you have to have 1.1 inch. So keep that in mind, guys. It does come with an awesome bag. I am considering this setup as far as my middle of the road, and let me know in the comments what you guys think about this setup and possibly putting my movers up there, lasers, fog machines, you know, a couple different items up there to kind of expand my middle of the road package. And then of course my most expensive package is my open-ended trussing, crank stands, T-adapters. I mean, I'm running, you know, a bunch of fixtures, but again, it is a ton of work to set that up. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Like I said, I'm over 400 subscribers now. I appreciate you guys' support. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass.